No.
Yes. So, do you guys remember what happened last week?
Bye bye lime.
I do. It's right by my mouth. I wouldn't be able to speak then.
If we take the microphone to the side of your mouth, then it will definitely pick you up.
It's working fine.
It didn't pick up the beginning of that statement that you just made.
Are you serious?
hmm You might just need to get a new microphone headset, Kiari. I know that's a headset I got you, but you might just need to get a new one.
I'll just try bringing my wireless, please.
Eh. But anyway, last week we left off on everyone and huddled together in a decrepit old barn, and a couple of people going off with this mysterious android that showed up at the door. Yes. So we're going to join in everyone in arriving with Steve, Tessa, and this new android arriving back at the barn.
Again, awfully sorry. Forking. Awfully sorry about that fork in your back.
Not the greatest introduction to someone I've ever had.
It could be worse. You could have died.
Just don't do it again,
I have no plans to.
and all is forgiven.
So you're all huddled in the barn. It starts raining a bit, it, and you can clearly see it through the massive hole in the roof where the barn ceiling has caved in. The babies are all huddled in their cribs. And everyone, can you turn that on? And everyone is trying to stay warm. Some of the surviving crew members have wandered off to try and find, you know, something, maybe make a new life for themselves. Maybe just to go wander into the woods and never to be seen again. But there are still about 8 or so of them with you guys huddled in that barn.
So,
Good news? I found a house that doesn't have a hole in it. Bad news?
no. Yes, I went and buried it.
Good news, we have a house without a hole in it.
And we also have a android.
Greeting. I'm Bolter.
Ben.
Charm.
He may try to kill you.
That reminds me.
The fork in your back?
Yes.
Where did that come from? Why'd you stab him with a fork?
I was ordered to.
By who?
My master.
Who's your master?
The corpse I buried out back. Well, not out back. That would be too suspicious. But he did have this particular neighbor he didn't like.
Why is he dead?
He killed him.
No, just keep asking questions, and then I get more questions.
To be fair, I didn't think he would die that quickly. I mean, I only punched him twice.
Do I have to remind you of the children incident?
Yeah, but this
The
guy was
thugs?
already dying. If anything, it was merciful.
Don't worry. He was a vampire, so he wasn't people anymore.
Steve's gonna go and pick up the guns he left earlier on the table.
All right, so you gather up your weapons, and you notice that um, that Gamma, who wants you guys to call her, I mean,
Clara?
yeah, Clara. Mhm. So you see as Clara. Who's echoing? Someone's echoing. Ah, that's why you forgot to take your finger off the button. That's why. So, anyway, Clara walks over to Bolter. She's like, "You're not sentient."
I didn't. I've always wondered what that's like, but I never get very far.
Do you want to know what it's like?
Yes.
See, he takes her clawed hand, metal hand, and grabs it around um, grabs around your chest, and then she takes the other hand and puts it on your forehead, and she says something in binary that you, that no none of you understand, and but it seems to be some kind of prayer or something because this bolter starts glowing a bit. Yes. Yes, true speak would extend to binary. So you understand she's praying to mechanics to uh, bring sentience to this creature to make this object into and turn it into a person. And he glows with a bright blue color, and that blue slowly fades from blue to violet to a deep purple to red, and then it goes away.
Everything seems so different. I'm gonna smack you across the face. I did it because I wanted to.
Ow, what was that?
Because you hurt my record.
Of what?
Usually people go down in the first hit.
You.
That doesn't sound very nice. I'm concerned.
So nice to have a will of my own. Before, my will was always the will of whoever owned. Serve me this, serve me that, kill this person, kill that person, bury them here, bury them there, frame this. But now, I can decide for myself. Thank, thank, thank all of you. I will always be indebted to
you at the back with a fork.
I would do no such thing. You are my fawn.
You're what?
Fawn.
I think you mean friends.
Close enough.
I don't think he meant friends.
I have an idea.
I've been pushing the button to talk.
Steve is going to cast Detect Evil.
Oh yeah. So when you detect evil on, who still has their finger on the button?
Sorry, that's me.
When you detect evil on him, you see a deep red aura, like veins pulsing through his body, all leading to a heart-shaped a machine in his chest that seems to be pumping this red liquid evil through his body.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier today, and you might be able to bluff this. Sorry. I was thinking about this earlier today. He might be able to bluff his way out of a lot of things, but this isn't one of them.
What isn't one of them?
Oh,
Doesn't Ben see the halo?
also, you have no concept of me bluffing you. You never succeeded at any of those. But, oh, and I'm terribly sorry. I let you walk over here in the rain when I could have shared my umbrella with you. Here.
I'd rather not.
Oh, okay.
I have a coat.
That doesn't protect your head.
Don't need it to.
Well, would any of the rest of you like an umbrella? I don't get sick very easily.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, but I have it if you.
So everyone packs up and moves to the now abandoned farmhouse, where everyone in Mesvermani gets a good night's rest. The storm rages outside. The wind shutters swing and, and slam against the side of the building as you guys take turns watching.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go out for a bit. I just remembered there's some stuff that my old master buried that I could really use.
All right.
Okay, do you
Someone
want me to
should
pick?
go with
Just
him.
no killing anything on the way. To and back.
You know what? I'm gonna go with him.
All right.
Okay, the more the merrier.
So I come as well, sir.
I think it'd be best to stay here.
Okay then, I'll wait here.
Steve's gonna try to follow them sneakily. Stealthily, sorry.
All right, roll your stealth. You two roll perception.
I think I'm gonna follow Steve's suit.
26.
Alright, roll your stealth as well, Tessa, then, if you're following them as well.
I'm gonna use run my feet that I have for it that allows me to run. So I'm running and
Okay.
20 to it, so it's only 20.
All right. So you. No, no, no. If it's a,
At a 20, we see.
yeah, out of 20, they both notice you.
Think your friends are.
Why are you guys trying to follow? If you wanted to go with us, why not just say, I want to go with you?
That's not why I'm following you.
Oh.
So why were you trying to follow us then?
Ooh. I know exactly what this.
Really? And what's your theory?
I'm gonna look you right in the. How tall are you?
Make sure this one over here doesn't try to kill you.
Okay, so I'm 5'4". You're you're in love.
That is definitely not what it is.
Sad to say, but I don't swing that way.
I understand, and I am quite the cat. I've only been sentient for a few hours, but I can already tell. Oh, I am gorgeous.
That's not it either.
Definitely not it.
I understand, and it happened. But just so you know, I don't feel the same way. I just met you, but maybe later. We'll see where it goes.
Still not it at all.
Sure, sure, try to hide it.
If you want to come with us, you can come with us.
I still have an umbrella.
Otherwise, just go ahead and stay back.
Ben, can I talk to you and Tessa for a moment?
Okay.
Sure thing.
Yes.
Are you sure this is far enough away?
I'm not sure about that, but I don't know how far she can hear. Figure 25 feet's probably good. But you know Cass, right?
Yes.
I used detect evil earlier. Her literal is Bolter a her, a he, or they?
He.
He is blood, pure evil.
I kind of got that vibe off them.
I wanted to make sure. That's why Tessa and I are following you. Keep in mind, stabbed me with a fork in the back the first time, and he will lie to us. Sorry, I don't know that. I know it's evil.
There's a reason why I was going with him.
Quite literally, watch your back. He will stick a fork in it.
I'm sure he would probably stab me with something a lot worse than a fork.
That umbrella?
Or whatever the fuck he's going to get.
All
You
right.
guys watch as Bolter dances in the rain menacingly with an umbrella.
Well, if I'm dancing menacingly, because I am a terrible.
Anyhow, that's why we decided to follow.
Well, you can just go with us. Yeah, it has to be all sneaky.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Alrighty. Well,
Who you tried to Intimidate.
He thought I was dancing like I was dancing.
Damn it, I was right.
I couldn't put any ranks in the skill. Shaken. Was spooked.
So you guys watch him menacingly dancing, and you guys become spooked by this.
I'm freaked out. I really do not like this guy.
I'm not. I don't think I like him that much either. Sleep Crusader.
You guys done yet?
Yeah, let's go.
No, this is a team huddle.
We can
Oh.
go now.
I understand I'm not a part of the team yet. You guys aren't sure about me, but I hope I can endear myself to you.
Doing a great job.
Thank you.
It's at this point that you guys realize that he's not quite as spooky as you thought he was. He seems actually kind of genuinely nice. So you're no longer spooked, but you remember that, like, every time you think back to how he was looking at the tip of that umbrella as rain was pouring down the sides of his lizard-like face. Oh yeah, speaking of lizard-like, it's not done, but I do have a bit of art for him, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what you're working with. But he seems to have sort of joyous demeanor about him. So like you kind of feel like he's probably not the kind of evil that would go around and kill random people on the street. He's probably the kind of evil that you know just
Kicks puppy.
just doesn't care about all the other people dying. So you guys walk through the storm to the back shed. You open the shed, and inside is a makeshift alchemy table.
I haven't used this in like 2 years.
Why do you have an alchemy lab in a shed?
Oh,
Or else you can perform somewhat possibly dangerous things.
I mostly just make my syringes.
Syringes filled with what?
Oh, well, it just dulls the mind a bit.
You make drugs?
I mean, I guess.
So you guys watch as this lizardfolk android picks up these vials and these medicine vials and a bunch of syringes. Like, let's say let's roll a dice for it. Where's my bagel dice?
Oh, and I can't forget my cap.
I gotta pull these two aside again.
All right.
So you guys go out behind the shed in the storm.
This guy is really sketchy.
I mean, they're making drugs in a backyard. It's pretty fucking sketchy.
Are we sure we want this guy traveling with us?
17 syringes full of a mysterious blue liquid.
Keep an eye on him.
True.
One wrong move and we can kill him.
I
Well,
believe that.
I guess your no-kill rule doesn't always extend that far.
Guys, guys, you shouldn't stay out in the storm. You're gonna get sick.
Just because he's sentient does not make him a person. At least in this case.
Oh my. If that's some strong, that's a strong standpoint you have there.
Okay, you hold to it.
We'll see.
Does that mean that Clara isn't a person in your eyes?
Ben, Ben,
We'll see
all
how
things
far this goes.
considered, I see this going out several possible ways. I know that you don't like to necessarily kill things. But oh wait, I was going to offer to kill it, but we just assumed that we'd do that later down the line if this became a problem anyway.
We don't need to like just go for it. We wait until he does something that's worth it.
I have a question. Can any of you see in the dark?
I'm pretty sure Steve can see in the dark too.
You also have to remember there's a storm going.
Yeah, it's rating sideways.
Hey guys, what are you talking about?
So you guys notice is that like you guys don't notice as he sort of just walks up behind you guys. You were no one heard that.
We were just discussing our next step in our journey.
Oh. Well, if you need any help maneuvering around the capital, I'm your android. I've been all over the place. From the highest peaks outside of the castle, to the lowest slum.
Can you forge a passport?
How detailed do you want it?
As detailed as you can get it.
It'll take some time.
How long?
A few hours.
Do you need any sort of payment?
Nah, I just gotta go pick up the material from the guys.
Do they need payment?
No, they owe me. Well, they owed my previous master, but he's not.
Why don't you just tell us where it is and I'll go get what we need.
Well, that's the problem. Some of it's in town, which you don't have a passport.
Touche.
This one over here should be able to get it though.
Also, well, town is a day's walk from here.
Steve?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go with Bolter here.
Great. This can't go wrong at all.
Watch yourself. A lot of bad people in the capital.
Yeah.
As I look at Bolter quickly.
Oh, Ben,
Walter will
you
admit
forget.
that.
Oh, Ben, you forget. I'm from the Empire. We are not nice people.
Duly noted.
And they're also racist.
That's going to be a problem.
By the way, earlier, I don't know if you were there for that discussion, but Tessa has figured out my kill count.
The notches on his gun.
Oh, what are you
You
up
can
to?
just keep that to yourself.
Me? Like right now? getting him a plausible passport.
No, your kill count.
As of now, 28, I think.
I'm gonna go back to the house now.
So you guys go back into the house. The rooms are a bit leaky, but it's at least warm.
Sorry I couldn't patch it up. And sorry if you sorry you I mean, do any of you want to use the main bed? It doesn't have any sheets on it because they were covered in blood.
I'm good.
No thanks. I'd rather not chance getting a blood pathogen or some other thing.
I mean, to be fair, you still have some of that blood on your hand.
If you would have to spend your whole night fixing the leaks, like fixing all the leaks and stuff. Problems wrong with this farmhouse would take you several months worth of work.
Well, no, I think it dried and it's just like if you rubbed it, it would come off.
Totally not the person who has recently killed someone in the party.
Well, does anyone want their laundry taken care of?
I'm good.
Oh yeah, it says the person that wears the least amount of clothing.
Arthur, would you like your laundry done?
I only have the I only have like 3 outfits, and I'm fine with what I'm wearing.
Okay then.
Okay. Well, I'm going to clean up some master's clothes. You guys might want some. He actually had some rather fine. He just didn't much on account of.
Note to self: do not go anywhere when an android lizard folk shows up at your door and says, "Hey, can you help me find some medicine for my master?" Next time, shoot immediately.
So I have to say, hey, I never thought about just killing him. Guess that's way quicker than finding medicine.
Yeah, that point that Wolf gained you for expediency. Are you? Never mind.
As I said, I was doing his laundry. You guys might want some of this stuff, so might as well be in a good present. I'm hanging them up inside.
So the android, he does the laundry and hangs the clothes up inside the cold, wet house on this stormy nights. So everyone drifts off to sleep. The storm passes, and the morning comes. The clothes are still wet, but now they smell moldy.
Well, yeah, but if we're going based off that, then all three of them would too.
Yeah. All of your clothes are also kind of bad smelling, but you have people with spells for that. Wait, do you have anyone that knows prestidigitation with you right now? Um, Mabel has druidcraft, but I don't think that works for cleaning clothes.
I don't think that would
Um,
make sense.
Mabel uses druidcraft to make her clothes smell like flowers instead of mold.
I don't think that fixes the underlying
Thank you,
issue.
Maybell.
Well,
Eh.
I was just going to wear the old clothes I have.
Rise and shine, everyone.
Oh dear God, no.
I made breakfast.
You guys watch as he brings out some. It's some cooked like some cooked pork, a couple of slices of some a couple of slices of fruit, and in 2 eggs sunny side up, and it looks like a guy with like if you look at it the right way, it kind of looks like a guy with blood spraying out of his face, but you might just be reading too much into the fruit placement.
Now, if anyone has any clothes they want to dry, the fire is still going.
I suppose it couldn't hurt to give him a little ground.
Yeah. So then, after thoroughly drying your clothes and packing everything up, you guys part ways with the pirates. Some of them are staying in this house, others are moving towards the city, and others still are moving to go away from the city.
Oh, and don't worry about them asking how you obtained this house. Uh, I went early in the morning to all the neighbors and told them of the untimely passing of the owner and him leaving the house to me and his will. But since I don't need a house, I left it.
I guess that takes care of the lodging issue for now.
Pretty thorough.
So you guys spend the morning. Well, you guys spend the morning and you're heading towards the capital. What pace are you going to go? You can't go fast pace because you have the babies with you, but you can go medium or slow.
Aw, it's been so long since I've taken care of baby.
Like Mabel,
I've taken care of them. They're good.
Mabel and Mugen keep the babies as far away from you in the walking line as possible.
I get the feeling it doesn't trust
Alright, so you guys walk. Oh, it's mostly farmland, but you can see the cliffs is in the distance and the Capitol Hill as well. And you can just barely make out the Black Gold Palace is at the very top of the cliff as the sun rises behind it. Around about midday, you guys stop for lunch. There's a couple, and you guys meet up with some other travelers that are heading from the capital. Sit down to have food with them.
I feel like we've forgotten someone.
someone missing from the group.
Yeah.
Did you lose your friend out there?
No, we know.
So through your friendship rings, you can tell that Ruby is alive. But she's further away than she could teleport to you guys. But it seems like she's also heading in the direction of the capital. So you can either uh, wait on the road by the road for who knows how long, or you can continue on towards the capital.
Well, wait outside. I get your forgeries. Or you could just go to the normal citizen process.
Yeah, but that takes a while, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to.
It's 3D4
It would
years.
allow her to catch up if we did that, wouldn't it?
3D4 years.
Oh, no, yeah, that's the one. I don't think we want to do that.
I'm not going through years of this crap. We don't have time for years of that crap. So I say we just keep going towards the capital.
Well, I do have another idea, but you might not like it.
Well then, I don't want to hear it.
Don't worry. Just requires you to perfectly sell yourself as a child.
No.
Okay.
So, after saying goodbye to the nameless travelers that you met at, you guys is break lunch and then continue on your way, only stopping a couple of times to change the diapers of the babies.
Well, hope those people weren't important.
Nah, they're just nameless travelers. Um, actually, roll a knowledge local. Well,
Ooh, I'll roll one.
not- So, you managed to get some rumors out of them. Um, You hear rumors about a, a visiting baron in town, and how everything in the capital is going to be changing for the better because he came through.
I guess I'll roll that for you.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
You
Wonder
also
what they mean by for the better.
you also they also tell you about rumors of a of there being some sort of criminal organization running from the under undertown, which you have no idea what undertown is, but they mentioned it to you when you were talking with them. No, they just heard that there was some sort of criminal organization in Undertown.
Sounds like a problem we need to deal with.
Not really.
So,
Frankly, it sounds like
if you are you going to tell the party about the Undertown thing? All right. So, Bolter, you know about Undertown. Basically, outside the city, there's he, basically secondary city of where people who can't afford to live in the city he have set up residence, and then outside of that is Tent Town. Well, underneath Tent Town in the um, outside a part of the city, there's another secondary area that's been slowly built over the course of the past couple of 100 years, and it's called Undertown. Basically, a second city built underneath the area outside the city. The guards know about it, but the Empire has no way of knowing how extensive it is and what all is down there. They just know that it exists, and they try and patrol the upper areas of it, but the lower areas are a complete mystery to them. But all they know is that there doesn't seem to be a way to get from Undertown into the capital, so they are fine with it existing. Don't forget to talk into the mic here.
I'll tell them all of that.
Still didn't pick it up.
I'll tell them all that. I forgot I had to.
Come on, Kiara. So you guys, hey, he's head out. And you guys managed to make good time heading to the town, and by the by late afternoon you make it to Tent Town. Basically, there's a ton of ramshackle housing, like dirt homes and houses made of wood and straw. Uh, It's basically a town outside of the capital that's made out of temporary housing. You can see people milling about, doing odd jobs, but the area around the highway is completely clear. And there's a small sort stone wall built around the place, tall enough that you can't, that most animals can't jump over it, but it's still short enough that it would be easy for a person or animal of sufficient means to climb over it. There are a lot of people just sitting outside of their huts and stuff, just sitting there, staring at the people walking by. Eh, But there are even more people that look like they're not well fed. It, some that are whose stomachs are bloated from, you starvation.
This looks like a very sad part of town.
It is. Frankly, I don't like the country. It feels dirty.
No, these people clearly need help.
They get by.
As you
They
guys
said the capital was nice all around.
as you guys go forward, a little girl with a basket of flowers comes up to you. She doesn't say anything, but she has a sign around her neck that says, "Is flowers for her coffer." One flower is one coffer.
What kind of little girl?
Like she looks like a half orc, but her tusks have been and obviously fouled, and she seems to be wearing some kind of makeup to make her look less orky.
Now, what do we have here?
An orphan.
I'm
Ben
gonna.
will give her 5 gold for 1 flower.
She looks at the gold. Well, she shakes her head and tries to hand it back.
That is not a good idea.
Why is it not a good idea?
Well, unless you want a murdered child. This is the slum. Carrying around that kind of money is painting a target on your back.
He is not wrong.
I'm gonna place Alice.
Mm. All right. The flowers are just it's everyday wildflowers, but they seem to have been and they seem to have been grown in some kind of planter of some sort since their stalks are unnaturally straight. So family, her or her family probably grows them to sell like this.
Fascinating. These are hand grown.
I'll give her 2 copper for 2 flowers.
She nods in thanks and hands you 2 of these flowers.
I'm gonna give the flowers to Mabel.
But like as you see that Mabel is also buying flowers and
Oh, then she's got more flowers.
she's buying
She's like,
she's buying flowers. Mugen buys a couple of flowers and hands them to Clara and well, yeah, Clara, and and puts one in Monica's hair.
Tell me, child. How, how do you defend yourself when you are attacked?
She just sort of looks down into the side.
Ah, try to cut that, right?
So he looks kind of scared, but he nods. It's in agreement.
That because if you cut that, they
So he nods and then just sort of walks off.
Ben does not approve.
So as you guys walk, you can see the black stone walls of the Capitol will start rising in the distance. You can see the red and black roofs of the buildings in the upper districts becoming more and more black as they approach the central district. Well, the uppermost district, where and all the roofs are black. But you can also see small shapes. It's moving through the air as well. You know what that you know they're generally just personal thopters and stuff like that. And you know the upper echelon of the capital tend to uh, employ a, magic vehicles to get around that part of the city.
some who are out of mass both knock I can
So you guys continue walking, and by the afternoon you reach the edge of Tent Town and you come across a about 8 foot tall white stone wall with a small gatehouse within. There's a guard there, um, and there's another guard directing the carriages and carts and stuff that are driving down the highway in and out of the capital.
well leave.
It's not. Anyone can get into the he's mostly the guards here aren't keeping people out.
Oh, we're not at that.
Yeah, you're not at the city part yet. You're just entering into
We're in the outside.
yeah.
The little small parts.
It's called Outtown. So how it works is you have Tent Town on the outermost part of the cliffs. Uh, Basically, the city is on this big ramping cliff, kind of like Pride Rock, but yeah. You have Tent Town, and then one layer in is Outtown. Below that is Undertown, and then you have the main city behind Outtown. So it's like early evening, and when you guys get to the gate, and there just seems to be the guard there seems to just be looking out for certain faces. Like he's looking at a piece of crystal that's displaying something on it, and then he's looking at people as they pass through the gate. And the other guard is doing the same for the carriages and carts.
Guess there's some people on the run.
There always are.
Are you ready to go? Hopefully none of you have any problems.
I don't think I do, aside from a few bouts of public intoxication, but that's about it.
Mine's all paid off.
I think so.
Well, there was that one incident with me and Tessa, but that got squared away.
What happened there?
Long story. Talk later about it.
Yeah, it's better that way.
And then there's been the bouts of his public indecency also.
That was not Public. That was in Miss Luminara's house.
I mean, he carries vodka around him. There's going to be public indecency at some point.
Well, if you guys are ready, go in and go in.
I'm good.
All right, let's go. By the way, that reminds me. Thanks, Ben. I'm out of alcohol.
Good.
I probably should have been a little bit more careful because I really should not have decided to drink all 3 flasks at once.
How are you still alive?
I ask myself that every day.
Divine intervention and luck.
How big are your?
I think it's mostly divine intervention.
How big are your flasks? Good. I've poisoned.
So you,
Divine intervention.
so you guys just get in line, and when it comes up to your guys' turn, the guy looks at the pad. He swipes it a couple of times. You're clear. He does that for each of you guys. He's until he gets to little Clara. He's like, hold on a second. What are you? Oh, I'm Clara. I'm a priestess of Mechanis. Yeah, you're one of those types, eh? Well, as long as you stay in Town, you'll be fine. So you guys have gone through.
Like that happened. Looking back, there were so many places that they just make so much more difficult for me to get in. Because I was an android, and androids weren't allowed in that area.
Yeah, they don't
Didn't stop.
take kindly to free roam androids. Or regular androids sometimes.
So, I think it sometimes has to think of lizardfolk.
They're not especially well liked around the Empire either.
Yeah, they don't like lizard folk very well.
It kind of is at war with them at the moment.
They're at war?
You didn't have to tell him that part.
Fighting for their.
Right now, it's more of an uprising than a war, but neither side comes to an agreement soon, there will be.
Side.
Wars are not exciting. They're terrible.
Why are they terrible?
A lot of people die,
A lot of people die anyway.
but wars can be avoided.
Then why do they keep happening?
Ben doesn't have an answer for that.
Because people are stupid, and here's what it will cost you. Steve's showing Bolter's arm, the one that's scarred and
What's so bad about this?
since you seem to be a dealer of death, have you ever gotten hurt in those endeavors?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a dealer. But, yes, I've gotten hurt before, but it always repairs it.
Most people don't have that, and we have people close to us that we'd rather didn't die fighting.
don't let them fight.
Not always that simple.
Why not? If you don't want to die, then don't fight. Just submit.
Guys, it's getting late. We should probably find an inn or something.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a good idea, Mugen.
You don't want to I know a good.
The inn will work.
Define hole in the ground.
Well, I say hole. You can always find a.
Absolutely not.
The inn sounds like a wonderful place to stay.
Yes, yes, it does.
But it's not very interesting.
We'll try it
Safe
anyway.
and sound is better than interesting.
You think you're safe.
I mean, safer than a fucking sewer.
Yes. Come on, there should be a map around here somewhere.
There was never a map around there anywhere.
No, it's local. Fuck, we're in the street. We're out.
See, if what Bolter give us a knowledge local so that you can see if you know of an inn in this area that would be relatively safe for them to sleep in. Alright. You remember a local inn run by this Scythian chick named Sally Mae, and that probably would be the safest place for you to stay tonight.
I guess Sally Mae's is the best place close by. You guys want to circle the city?
That sounds good.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
All right, so it's like early evening. People are are coming home from working the fields and working their jobs, and they're going to their homes and stuff. And a lot of the houses in this area are the wattle and daub type houses, but instead of whitewash, they're all like shades of gray and brown. So it's not bright like an average medieval city, but it's kind of dull and stuff. But you guys come across one white building in this area. And it's the building itself is raised off the ground a good 3 feet with with a wood lattice around the bottom. The walls are white, and it has a porch that wraps around the entirety of the lower section, with the upper areas slightly overhanging. The um, sign has a faded picture of a piece of bread with steam rising from it on a plate. Um, there's a quite young child sweeping the front porch when you guys come by, and there's a couple of older guys playing a board game on a small table on the porch.
Board games.
Yes, they're playing dragon chess.
Okay. Greeting. I'd like to requisition.
Oh, well, the going fee is a copper per person per night.
How about 3 gold? We call it here.
We can't take that. We can't make Shane that for that much. And we only have 3 rooms available at the moment. And one of those rooms is gonna have to be shared with another guest.
Well, don't worry. I plan on going out. I'm gonna go gather supplies, see what I can scrounge up before we have to go.
So that should be 6 people. Um,
How many beds are in each room?
No beds, just cots. As many, and the number of cots in a room are as many as you can fit in there.
Well, 1 silver should do it. 'Cause 1 silver's 10 coppers, right?
Hmm.
So I'll give her 1 silver. That should be enough. Oh, wait. That
Should be enough for one night, right?
All right, I'll have to take you to the front desk. So, she goes to leads you guys inside. It's somewhat lively. There's a couple of small tables, those where people are eating some kind of soup with rice. And a couple of other people are chatting. Doesn't seem like they serve alcohol here, so it's not very rowdy or anything. And the small girl goes behind the counter, drags a stool up to the counter, and climbs up on the counter, and pulls out she pulls out a box, and she takes out a silver key and unlocks it, opens it up. Your silver piece, please. She puts the silver piece in and pulls out the change of 3 copper. And hands it to you. Closes the box, locks it, puts it behind the counter. I'll sell y'all to your rooms.
Okay.
Alright. Zeus Duncan will do.
There's 3 rooms.
Yeah, but one of them has to be shared with a stranger. I'd rather not have Zodderin, Monica, and Sephiroth. I nearly forgot all the names. I remember.
Well, we could put the babies in a room with Mugen and Mabel, seeing as they're already kind of taking care of the kids.
Yep.
Almost like a married couple.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Obviously, me and Arthur will share a room.
Alright.
I think we need to see how many cots are in a room first.
That's fair.
That is true.
Alright. So, you guys go into the room that's shared. There's already a guy in there. He's asleep. He's covered in blankets. And he seems to be snoring really loudly. He seems like he's kind of tall, so he takes up a good bit of the room, the floor space. He's sleeping on like 3 or 4 cots sideways.
So you're in here. Alright.
Well, Steve, I guess this is your room then.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay.
All right, so I'm guessing everyone else is piling in the other 2 rooms.
Yes.
All right, so
Going out for
all right,
I figured like Arthur, me, and Tessa.
Yeah. So Mugen can cast the cone of silence trap up on the cribs, so that if the babies start crying, it'll put a cone of silence to the walls so that people outside the room can't hear what's going on.
Steve, by the way, did you ever get the egg back to Ben?
No, I don't think I did. I think I'll go do that.
Also, where's the Deinonychus?
It's been stabled. They let it into this part of town, but you're pretty sure they're probably not gonna let it into the city.
That's okay. I'll just wait here with it.
What were you even planning to do with it?
It will be my pet.
Going to subjugate it to your will?
No.
It's it's like a 4.5 foot
Isn't that
tall
what pets
bipedal reptile covered with a bit of feathers and razor sharp claws and fangs.
Have you tried
Good
to
luck subjugating that to your will.
Do you want me to try?
No, that was not an invitation.
Sure. Pretty sure I could do it.
Leave the raptor alone.
That is what you wish.
I wish.
I'm pretty sure the reason why he has it is so that he can feed his enemies to it.
No, I just want a raptor for a pet. Is that so hard to believe?
To feed his enemies to.
I mean, it would be good in battle. Very true. I will not deny it. But I just really like raptors, and I wanted one.
Alright, so you guys sort of bed now for the night. You go down and to try and get a drink, but alright. Oh, we don't serve alcohol here. We don't have a permit for it.
Alright, you got beer, orange juice, milk,
Water. That's pretty much all we have.
Oh. If you give me a flask, I can refill them.
Let me think very carefully. Absolutely.
You're lost.
Only I refill.
Clearly not, 'cause they're still in.
Alright. Don't forget to push the button.
Do not touch my flasks. They are mine. I drink from them. And the last person who messed with them is dead now.
Why'd you kill him?
It was weird. He wanted to kill everybody else, and he was being an asshole because he just involved me and Ben and Tessa when we really didn't do anything to him. So
You're very brutal. I like that about you.
I'm efficient. Not exactly best at what I do, but decent enough.
You want me to help you get better?
Suppose it couldn't hurt. Just no killing each other, okay?
Of course. I would never kill you guys. I'm not making a bluff check.
Alright.
Okay. I'm off to go hunting.
Okay.
So you guys all bed down for the night. And the morning comes without incident. Well, so you get back to the inn, and like right around the time everyone's waking up.
Good.
Good morning. Vaultec calling.
I have great. I was able to find some of the supplies, and I found one of my favorite toys. That
Why is it a secret?
because I wanted to be surprised.
I don't like surprises.
By the way, you haven't been rolling to see if you're the simian spider.
You're the simian spider today. I mean, it hasn't really been relevant since you guys have been in the airship, and I hadn't really been rolling it since you guys got out of the dream because it hasn't really been all that imperative.
Also, who are you?
And actually, let me roll
I'm
something
an
else.
interested friend of the party.
Why did you sneak in? I told Vince the place wasn't safe.
And Arthur is wearing his Crimson Scorpion costume as well.
So you like friends with Ben? Because otherwise it seems like you kidnapped.
We're just good acquaintances.
Do you know where he went?
Honestly, I don't know.
Good. Well, it's a good thing you guys are friends, because otherwise I would have had to kill you.
We're really good friends.
Sorry, what's going on?
So the Simian Spider and the Crimson Scorpion are here.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh man, I didn't put Arthur on the page. I probably should do that.
Oh.
You've already
No, this is
explained
no this like they haven't seen Arthur transform since back in Fort Cars. He's barely still a magical child. Like all you guys know is that you were broken up by a lot of music and lights, and then when you got up when you got up, the Simian Spider and the Crimson Scorpion were in the room with you.
What?
Yeah, you're in the other room, but you could hear it
Like,
still.
Vigilante?
I mean, if you want to put a label on it.
Oh. Then it's perfect that you're in town. I heard screaming. Not the good kind of.
What kind of screaming?
You know, like the painful gurgles of somebody shitty as they're choking, gargling blood.
Where was this?
Oh. It was down in, well, I guess not the bad part of town, that's outside. It's like the relative bad part of. I was down there picking up my favorite toys.
I still want to know what those favorite toys are.
I also got the border for your passport.
My passport?
Yeah. The one I'm making. I mean, yeah, for Ben's passport.
Well, where specifically did you hear this screaming at?
I can show you the area.
Please do.
Are you guys ready for adventure?
All right.
Hey guys, you gonna solve a murder mystery?
Like when you go open the door, you're met with an unfamiliar tall guy. Hmm. What are you supposed to be?
I'm Bolton, the butt.
Well, I'm Butler, the assassin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How's the killing?
It goes well. And he just sort of ducks underneath the door frame and walks down the stairs.
So what are we doing this morning, guys?
going to solve a murder.
Okay, why?
Because someone was murdered and they need to be avenged.
Are you sure they were murdered?
Were they murdered? Or were they just screaming like they were being murdered?
Well, I wasn't there personally.
He heard blood-curdling screams. That's usually not a good sign.
And we hear those all the time.
No?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I still have some visions from the dream world. They are not nice.
You need to talk about it?
Unless you want to hear about you and everyone I know dying, I forgot to press the button.
You gotta get better at that.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to hear about me dying in a dream. That doesn't sound pleasant.
It's not pleasant to look at.
Anyways, Bolter, show us the way to this scream.
Okay, this away.
Impossible murder.
Alright,
Guess we're doing this today.
so
Grab all his weapons.
you guys, he's travel a ways, he's to the south, about an hour or two, and you come across an area, like, some people have gathered in the area, and it's, there's a lot of people there, but it's mostly just onlookers. They're like, oh, it's happened again. You guys see a the remains of a skeleton that's been, like, it looks like the skeleton had been twisted into, the body had been twisted into some weird form, but it but it looks like there are drag marks from where the body moved, like almost like the skeleton itself had dragged itself forward. And you see like right as its arm is reaching out of the alleyway, you see he, a scorch mark, like where most of the alleyway has been burned by a something.
Well,
I would like to attempt to see if I can figure out how long the body's been dead. Because, a skeleton would normally suggest that it's been dead quite a long time. There are also
So you hear some. Give me a perception, those of you that aren't and looking at the body. Tessa is too busy looking at the backs of people's calves.
Now I'm gonna roll here. Well,
Don't forget to hit the button.
I got a 12.
It's it like the skeleton seems a bit too clean for the amount of blood that's around, and the bones seem to be. It seems like the bones have been cut and then stitched back together in different places.
Well, this is very odd. It's like a Frankenstein.
So sloppy too.
So, Steve, if you hear murmurs, this has to be the work of the arsonist.
the what?
The arsonist.
Arsonist?
Yeah, the arsonist.
The arch nemesis. Thine art is fire.
Question.
Are you gonna mention it to anyone else?
Yeah.
Um, Bolter, you've heard about this. It's a title you're quite familiar with, the Arsonist. Apparently, there's someone that kills people and then makes their bodies into pieces of art. And this has been going on for quite some months now. But only recently he did those pieces of art start coming alive. Even in the past week or two. And then they've been having to be dealt with by a local necromancers, clerics, and anti necromancers, clerics, and monster hunters.
There's always some. Heard stories about it, but so
Stories about what?
the arch,
Who is he?
the serial killer who mutilates the bodies in art project. But recently they started back to life. You can clearly tell it's poppy. This is not the worst. Look, the jaw, still whole.
As you say that, the jaw falls off.
Mostly whole. That means that they can. That means they can use magic to get this tall.
I don't think it really
I don't think
matters.
that's how it works. But anyways, it sounds like this is something we need to deal with.
I am jealous.
Can I roll a knowledge of Arcana to see if I can.
Sure.
Like
Do you not like?
Alright, so
27.
with your knowledge of Arcana so high, it reaches the sky. You can tell that this this corpse was brought to life by a necromantic aura, and then subsequently killed with a sacred flame spell. So something in this city is walking around raising the dead with its presence, and then something else is killing those things that have been raised.
any clues?
Yeah, apparently a necromancer aura was used on this one.
Echo. I hate guys.
As you guys say this, you notice that the crowd is sort of dispersed around Bolter and you guys. Like, everyone has moved a good 30 feet away from you guys.
Well, I'm going
Why are
to
they backing up?
probably because we just walked into a crime scene. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably back away from the people who did that.
They probably think we had something to do with this.
Steve's gonna cast Detect Evil very quickly.
Let's see. You see that there's some remnants of evil on the corpse, and you see Bolter, and you can see some like it's outside of your detect evil range, but there's some evil force, like a nexus of evil. Well, it's barely perceivable by you, but you can still perceive it, and it's somewhere behind the city walls. Somewhere, or, like you normally don't think you would be able to feel something that far away, but for some reason you can tell that there's some great evil inside the city. and it's moving, and it's heading in your direction as well.
Ah, shit. That's not good. Guys,
Yeah.
something evil aside from that is coming here, and I don't. It's it's still it's not good.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what evil is, not good.
Ben's gonna do a perception on the area around the body.
Right.
As in stronger than normal feeling, I guess. Like that's a lot of evil.
All right. All right. So you guys are looking. It looks like you can tell that whatever killed this person killed them in a single strike, like a quick strike, like from behind them, splattering in very little blood. Most of the blood loss came in from them from them being cut up and reassembled in different interesting ways. But there don't seem to be any footprints or anything leading to or from the crime scene other than the victims.
They could ghost. I've never been able to kill
Don't think it was a ghost.
That might be because they're discorporate and already dead.
Yeah.
Indeed, is that evil thing still coming after us?
I don't know. Let me check.
It's not heading straight for you guys, but it's heading in your general direction.
Or how they're heading.
It's heading towards our general direction. I don't think it's aiming at us.
And let's go charge it.
Are you sure?
Does anyone else here think that's a bad idea?
I think that's a terrible idea. Isn't that right, Master?
Yeah, you don't want to charge head. I mean,
If
if this thing's generating that kind of an aura,
it's pretty bad.
it's pretty bad.
You don't want to just go
You
straight.
don't want to just go straight into that.
Well, if you don't darkness head on, then how do you ever quell it?
Oh.
You don't always fight fire with fire.
Guys, do you remember which direction that Titan was headed that we ran into?
Not a clue.
Which one? There were three. Well,
Two.
The one that destroyed the ship that we were on.
What's a Titan?
What buildings are around?
Soon to be dead man.
It's all just houses.
Are there any houses with a good line of sight to the area?
There's this house that's slightly taller and skinnier than the others in the area.
Window facing crime scene?
What? No window. Well, there are windows, but they're all on the bottom floor.
What are you looking for?
Clues. I'm gonna go see if I can talk to the owner of the house.
I know I go where I want when I want.
Oh, it took me a moment to realize.
Monkey fish potion.
At least it's not heroin.
It allows me to climb walls.
So you guys noticed that he administered a potion to himself through a syringe.
You guys a little bit of a druggie.
No, it's
No,
just,
not drunk.
it's just, it's how
Does that
he.
even work for an android?
That just
They're like,
seems to be how he does potions. Instead of in bottles, he just injects them directly into his blood.
Ben's too focused on trying to.
So you knock at the door. A small child opens it up. Yes.
Are either of your parents home?
My mom told me to say yes.
Can I speak with your mom?
My mom told me not to let anyone into the house.
Yes, no, yes.
Well, that got me nowhere.
And you watch as she goes back to like scrubbing the floor through the. No, you can see clearly through the window that he's sweeping the bottom floor, which is just filled with bags, sacks of things, and boxes and stuff. That like there's no glass or anything. It's just an open window.
No.
They can't afford glass here. What?
What do I see?
Um, you can see that there are people. Like you can see, there are people who are just milling about. Who- Um, it's still fairly early in the morning, so a lot of people are kind of just heading to work. You can see the factories on the sides of the cliff, where a lot of people are moving towards. And you can see that there seems to be a large crowd of people moving towards the main highway.
A lot of people moving towards the whoa. A lot of people.
Tall is this building that he's on?
It's like, what, 15, 20 feet?
Alright, let me check something. Say people.
It's the evil's a lot closer. It seems to be moving towards the main gate of the city.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go check out a thing.
And also, you see Bolter.
hey guys,
I'm
I'm gonna go check out a thing. I'm not going to attack it or anything, but I'm gonna go and follow it for a bit.
Yeah, I'll come with you as backup, and I'm gonna jump down.
Like,
Careful watch your back.
when you guys watch as when Bolter lands, like people around him just sort of just back away. People are starting to murmur. What is that thing? I don't know. It's kind of scary looking. What's going on? Look at those teeth.
Can you change what you look like?
It's not live. You can't do that.
Here. It seems like my presence not fit. Hey, well, please.
No, not particularly.
Yeah. I'll meet. Yeah, I'll take a different.
All right. Tessa, you coming or staying here with Stimian and Crimson?
I think I'll stay with them.
All right.
I'm gonna duck into the first gate.
All right.
Whether I can.
All right.
I'm gonna attempt to ask the girl if she saw anything or heard anything weird the night before.
I'm rather.
He's just ignoring you. My mother told me not to talk to strangers. And then she just sort of climbs the ladder up to the main part of the building.
I think you should move on to another house.
I'm going to go to the next one.
I'm
I'm just gonna go door to door,
saying
saying if I
someone
someone
to
to give me some kind of help.
I went into the alley and robbed.
Okay.
No, thank you, child.
So, as you're walking to the next house, you see a human child, just standing there staring at you.
Hello, child.
Hello. Really back.
What are you backing away for? I haven't even done anything.
I don't know, some guy wearing the tightest clothes I've ever seen, and a mask with some weird beard, and another guy wearing a scorpion and themed outfit, wearing the viewers can't see this, but and some guy wearing this outfit came up to me and asked me anything. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't hold a conversation with him.
You're scary looking.
You have nothing to fear, I promise.
Do you hear?
No.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Oh,
I give a very unsettling smile.
No, kid. I think I'm gonna go now. Kid walks off. He's just like, kids,
Nice to meet
shining.
you.
Yeah. Arthur, that's worse than The Shining.
What's deciding, Master?
It's a movie.
You hear skipping behind you?
You hear abnormally loud skipping for a child behind you.
Then slowly turns around.
I'm like 30.
This just gets creepier.
Is he following us?
That's just,
Vince is gonna continue trying to investigate with this creepy child behind him.
Would you say that you're spooked by this child?
Yes.
Master, that child seems to be following us.
I'm aware, and it's really creeping me
I
out.
think we should, probably find and other people in the group. I don't trust that child.
Where are
I
you going?
understand.
Ah. So the child is apparently right behind you now.
okay,
Okay,
what
kid,
do
what
you
do you want?
You're interested. I want to know you more.
I don't want to get to know you.
But you're safe.
What's that supposed to be?
I know you're no threat. Smell you.
I can smell you.
I think we need to find Steve.
By the way, if you're doing that, don't say shit like that to Steve. He will not hesitate.
I will not hesitate.
Your fear makes me feel better. It's
So, Steve, as you're walking, you see a strange sight. You see a man wearing a mask walking down the street. heading in the same direction you are. And there's a metal bird, metal bird perch on his shoulder, and he's wearing an outfit. Eh,
Yeah, whatever. Lobster. Yeah.
He's wearing an outfit. Let's look. Where is that pangolin? He's wearing an outfit like this.
Ah.
Except on his back, instead of a Samson, it's a no, we'll just say a Samson. He has a Samson on his back that's in the shape of with red and black flames. And he's just
Um, quickly detect evil on the guy, but other than that,
You're just so untrustworthy.
so when you detect evil on him, he doesn't show his alignment doesn't appear. Right, but instead he stops, turns and looks straight at you.
Yo.
From the night he is born, find the one lost forlorn. Bright like fire, burns like flame. He is the one with no name. Light the torch and burn the pyre. Sink the ship, the raven mire. And he holds out his hand to you. And this is a really tall guy, like at least 7 feet. He shakes your hand. I see you are touched by the light. What brings you here?
Adventure and a little bit of investigation at the moment.
You
Also those two things.
you must have seen the evil.
yeah, it's kind of almost unmissable.
It's something I've been following these past few days. I just had to put down one of its creations this morning. And now I'm going straight to the source. It's finally leaving the city, so I can take it out.
Do you have any suspicions as to who or what it is?
I know not what it is, but I will recognize it when I see it. Thus is the job of a raven.
All right, may I accompany you at the moment? I'm kind of
You may.
all right.
You guys are walking. This child is happily, he's skipping a good 10 feet behind you guys.
Ben's gonna try and ignore it and do the work that he's supposed to be doing.
I guess
I guess the kid's just gonna follow us.
Um,
Just
what? I thought you were farther back than that. What? Master, I don't think this child is normal. I think we should go find Steve so that he can tell us what this thing is.
Fine, we'll find Steve.
we are coming right
We're
back
coming
to this
right back to this crime
afterwards.
scene afterwards.
The paladin, quote unquote.
Very loosely.
but you're the closest thing we have to a paladin. It's bad.
I mean, he does have a smite.
Might doesn't make right.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't try to use it on everyone immediately.
But yeah, for detecting literally everyone.
Well, You
So
stabbed
we're
me in the
going
back
to
with
find
a sword.
Steve.
You shouldn't have even done that, but
Yeah, one.
Alright, so you guys catch up to Steve. As he's made it to the main highway. And there's a crowd of people. Standing next to him is a figure. He's wearing an outfit like this. His robes are a really dark blue, and a really bright green, and it seems to. And his mask is the same colors, but the colors seem to morph and shift, as if they're not the as if it's green flames on a midnight sky.
Hey Steve, we need you to do detect evil on this kid over here.
what? This kid. That.
This kid has been following us.
Okay.
That one right over there.
I wouldn't.
Detect evil. Doesn't anyone?
Eh, It's evil, but it's evil you recognize.
Guys, it's just. It's just what?
You get cut off as the guy next to you is like, it's it's here. So you guys watch as the cart rolls out of the main gate to the city and is traveling down the road a ways, and then it stops. Oops. And a single old man gets out of the cart before the cart turns around and drives back into the city.
So what now?
We wait, see what he does.
And if he leaves?
If he leaves, then me and my fellows will ambush him when he's far enough from the city to not cause harm. And if he doesn't, then he'll take him here. Such is the way of the ravens.
Yeah, guys, I think I might have accidentally joined into something.
Join a cult.
Accidentally. What do you mean?
I have no idea.
He turns.
And why is this kid talking like he knows you?
Don't you know it's Walter?
Oh.
I gotta
Oh.
punch you.
Alright, fine. I guess we're doing this early.
It's not. I'm not punching you like. It's like a light.
That's why he was so unlikely.
Now I'm a little less freaked out, but it's
So
still.
so the tall guy turns to you guys. He bows his head, and he pulls out his samisen and starts playing. From the night he is born, find the one lost forlorn. Bright like fire, burns like flame. He is the one with no name. Light the torch and burn the pyre. Sink the ship, the raven mire. At your service.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Very wordy.
That was
Did he just
interesting.
curse us?
I don't.
I don't think it's a curse. It's the thing he does, apparently.
I am a raven.
That too.
My job is to stamp out evil where it lives, and to bring death to the deathless and those that shun it.
So are we doing it? Or are we just gonna let him?
The Raven guy or the other guy?
The other guy.
The other guy?
You guys turn and see the guys walking your way, and people are all murmuring and talking. Hey, I think that's the Baron. I think is it? Yeah, look, I think that's him. What? There's like a murmur going through the crowd. And then as he gets close to you, who suddenly Cass is freaking out and he's telling you to run.
Well, Steve will follow his advice. He fucking turns away.
So you guys watch.
Where the hell's Steve going?
I'll spend a key point for it.
So you guys, see, you guys see Steve's eyes go wide, his halo pops up, and he turns around and just runs.
That's obviously not good. I think we should follow.
So
I guess we're going after Steve
I,
again.
so as you guys turn,
Times 4.
280.
That's how fast these
He,
go.
like he's gone and he disappeared into the city before you guys even turn around. And as
How do we even follow that?
as he bolts,
I got him.
and as he bolts, you guys he's watch as the Raven steps out into the street. He's, then he confronts the Baron. "Oh, hello, you must be one of those ravens I've heard about. What brings you to my presence? I've come to end your reign of terror." My reign of terror? I'm a simple politician. And what reign of terror could I possibly have? I know what you are. You're not human. You're not even alive, are you? And he stops laughing. He looks the raven dead in the face, and the raven just falls over. Like the samison drops from his hands, breaks on the ground, and the raven just falls over. Oh my, he seems to have had an accident. And he just sort of steps around. And just for a second, your eyes flash, as in you see something. You see an image. It's a man cloaked in black, uh, like armor, or your black armor, black cape, and shining white eyes, skin as pale as death, and of a blade made of glass, with thousands of screaming souls housed inside of it. And you see a field of death. Everything around you is dead. All your friends, all the people in the crowd, the city, he burned to the ground. You see this man. You see him turn towards you. Both in the vision and in real life. He looks you in the eyes. He winks, and he just keeps walking. Tessa, you notice that you know those glowy ears that Ben sometimes has. Those are out, and his eyes are glowing behind his mask.
Are you okay then?
No, I'm not okay.
Are we doing this or not?
Doing what? No. After what I just saw, it's a good thing too.
You watch as the raven sort of stands up and just walks into the crowd uh, on the same side that he came from, and it just starts shambling in, into the city. He looks very unsteady on his feet. And you see him fall over in a back alley.
I'm gonna go. Hey, you alright?
He doesn't say anything. As he just picks himself up and stares at the dead end alley. And just sort of stands there. But the mechanical bird on his shoulder just slowly he turns towards you, and you watch as the bird starts rusting over and fading into this red dust that flows through the air.
Yeah, listen for
There is none. Roll, roll your damage.
I should probably run back.
Well, if you consider flat-footed.
Yes. So a total of 30. So you guys come into the alley as you see the child hitting him with the piece of wood that he and
What the hell are you doing?
Killing it.
oh, it's already it's basically destroyed at this point. And you guys like the smell hits you first before you see it. But it smells like death and rot. And when you get to next to Bolter, you see that instead of blood everywhere, there's this black ooze that's just seeping into the everything.
The hell'd you kill?
Well done. Massive. There's no sport. There's nothing. You're not killing. You're just putting.
Sounds like you enjoy killing things.
That's something we should be concerned about.
You do what you have to survive.
You should only kill if there's literally no other option.
And even then.
And even then.
Rather than that way. Rather does what rather has.
Poor Steve.
Yes, where is Steve?
We need to find Steve.
Go find him.
We need to find the serial killer before he strikes again.
Don't we have those rings that show location of where people we know are? Maybe we can use that to find Steve.
You don't want to loot the body or anything?
I'll take it.
Alright. So you find 14 gold, 143 silver, 2 magic scrolls. Bless you. Bless you.
When they can use magic scrolls.
I would assume you were making.
And I can use magic device, which I guess would fall under.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You also find an enchanted chain, but it doesn't. It seems to be losing its magic.
Discipline. Well, go find the stupid.
So it takes you guys about an hour to find Steve after he got about 200 feet away. He stopped being afraid, but he was too embarrassed to come back. Find him just hanging out in the back alley. He's just waiting for you guys to come find him.
What the hell?
Man, I didn't know you were so chicken, Steve.
I'm just confused as to why you ran so.
We can't hear you.
When the angel in your head tells you to fucking run, you fucking run.
Cass takes offense to that.
I forgot that I push D5 all, and I'm not so he's would yeah, Cass didn't like that.
Because I'm sure. I am a kid after.
Evil kid that just like murdered the hell out of him.
That wasn't even murder at that point.
Cass sort of whispers in your ear that killing him would have been just as evil as not killing him.
Uh,
The android. Because randomly killing people just because of their alignment is just as evil as randomly killing people.
Cass is vouching for you this time. And he makes a good point. So you get to live.
For now.
Care how about. His judgment little.
Well, that shouldn't matter to you. So it makes sense.
You two are the only ones that are actively trying to kill his new character. I mean, come on. Just because.
I'm not actively trying.
I'm not actively trying to either. He's just
I
giving
mean-
a lot of reason. He's kind of made a literally like the type of character he built is supposed to be like a fucking horror movie monster.
I mean,
how the fuck are we not supposed to kill this?
yeah, but you don't know that
Not being
yet.
able to.
He hasn't done anything overtly like that. He's just been a bit creepy.
He's been hinting towards it.
Yeah, but you guys forget that Mugen's also evil, but you guys tolerate him because he's a somewhat nice guy. Like he's a
And Ruby.
But to be kind
yes,
of
and
fair,
Ruby is
he
also
did make
evil.
most of the heroes evil. Like that's kind of their thing. But I mean, that doesn't mean we want to be evil. And like I said, you kind of made a movie monster. You
Yes,
made
I
like an
absolutely.
80s slasher film horror guy. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
chaotic evil to the max.
Yeah.
Neutral.
Sure.
We'll see.
I pick specific targets and down.
Why can't you just make a neutral or good character?
I did. That was mine.
That is true. Remember, I did say you guys have to experiment with alignments as well as classes and races. Once you guys get out of your comfort zone, and this is the most evil character Kiari's ever played.
Every time I replay Mass Effect, I can't do that.
You can.
Just not
And
evil.
it's not even being evil in Mass Effect. That's the worst part.
Well, the thing is, you can be lawful evil like Mugen, who is only evil because he doesn't care about other people's lives, except for the people close to him. Or you, or you can play a like chaotic evil like a Ruby who just doesn't care about anyone or anything unless it benefits her. I mean, yeah, you guys are all over the alignment chart. See, you have neutral guys, good guys, and evil guys. It's more interesting that way.
Besides, it's not like I force you guys to follow me places. You're the one who don't trust me by myself. Before that, the night before, when all three of you followed me. The night before, when all three of you followed me to the shed.
isn't following the movie monster to the set like one of the cliche tropes? Like everyone goes out to the set and then someone ends up dead and no one knows how, and then they run from the set and someone else ends up dead.
I hate to break it to you, but in all horror movies, they usually never run after the bad guy. They usually are
Yeah,
running away from
yeah, but
him.
when they go to investigate the shed and then the bad guy gets them.
But the difference being that the shed was not empty. We were not going to an empty shed. We were following a character. There's a difference there.
Because I want. Okay, so I could reasonably two-shot Tessa, and you guys would have been trapped outside in the middle of the night during a storm with no one who could see in the dark. If I wanted to go slasher on you guys,
I'm not saying you're gonna go on us.
I mean,
Do you want them? Like,
anyone
this
seen
is
it?
like Jason working with the New York City Police Department to take down Cthulhu. It's just something that if you have Jason on your side for that fight, it's better than not having him on your side for that fight.
it's better than having him as a recurring antagonist.
Guys, does anybody know where Mugen or Maybell or the children are?
They're back at the end. You guys didn't wake them up or anything.
We should investigate this murder before we keep getting off track.
Yeah, probably.
Back to the murder.
So do you guys want to go until 5:30, or do you guys want to end off here? All right, so well, let's take a quick break. You guys fill airtime while I go to the bathroom and grab a snack.
I just feel like you got so much trust. Like, you heard him say evil, and suddenly you guys just want to follow me everywhere.
You stabbed me in the back with a fork.
It was a fork.
Not to mention that, to be fair,
What kind of
men would be
motherfucker?
after a
Yeah, but you should also know when it may not be a good idea to pursue that person on your hit list, because a one-on-one fight with them may be suicide.
doing the good thing. But what I'm getting at is, based on my character, I would definitely attack you. I would probably lose, but I would.
Well, here's the thing. You gotta play this hard. You don't just go for the straight for like, I'm going to kill
I mean,
you
I'm
now.
not gonna like, oh, I see you murder them, and now I'm gonna immediately go to punching you or stabbing you.
Oh
But I'm
yes,
still going to
please,
go after you.
please do not come at me unarmed. You will die.
I don't think that non-lethal damage is gonna do shit to him. Well, I mean, non-lethal damage will do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, yeah, it's just John over there doing that. I'm still Vava.
Steve won't,
alignment there.
unless Bolter actively goes against a party member or an ally of the party.
Or anyone in your weird age group.
Yeah.
Under a certain age or over a certain age.
How old is Bolter, by the way?
6. No, Keontae.
Oh, look, rain.
And we're back just in time for the ominous rain to start.
Yep, we are now.
Now that it's ominously raining, it's time for a bloodbath.
No.
At least they'll be clean afterward. Relatively.
Time to solve a murder.
Alright,
Or begin solving a murder.
pair up and search for.
Are we gonna do it in a film noir style?
You already know what happened. How, like, you're gonna solve a murder that if you already know.
Oh yeah, by the
What's he telling us about?
See, I did. See, I did not murder that.
So, what exactly did he learn?
Okay, well, he's away at the doing his thing. So Steve tells you what the Raven told him is that the body.
Anybody got change for time?
You can just pay. So Steve tells you guys that the Raven had killed the body after it had resurrected as an undead.
Yeah, so that's what that was about. Sorry to take the fun out of it, I guess. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I guess it's been solved.
Still don't know who's bringing the bodies back to life, though.
That is true.
You guys, I'm not sure. Can I roll something to see how the Empire feels about necromancy, or is it general knowledge?
So you know that necromancy is only performed by people with a proper necromancy license, which you get by going through the Imperial Magic Academies and graduating in both in necromancy and healing as your major. So to be a healer, you have to learn necromancy, but also to be a necromancer, you have to learn healing. They he You have to study both of them at the same time, and you only take your specialization after you graduate in that school, and then you can specialize as a necromancer or a healer.
Steve will relay that information to the party.
I already knew that. I already knew that.
These two might not know.
Well, now we do.
So that means that whoever did this either is doing illegal necromancy or is someone with a license who's been given permission from the higher ups.
So you three roll intelligence because Steve ran away before this happened.
This.
All right, so Bolter, um, you kind of think that there might be some connection between um, the visiting baron who just left town and the people resurrecting since since the guy that died in front of him resurrected as an undead.
I probably say it was the Baron.
Tessa, you know that there's some connection between the two, between the way that Steve acted, the way that Ben acted, and the what happened to the Raven. You can kind of connect the dots to see what's going on here.
Yes, I definitely think the Baron was involved in this.
But he just left town, didn't he?
You didn't want to fight.
Yeah, yeah, he did. I mean,
Coward. Coward solid.
you want to go fight that guy?
I have nothing.
Well, then why don't you go for it?
I can't catch up.
What do you mean?
Little legs. Cannot keep up with a cart.
You saw him walk. He was
He's
walking.
on foot.
He's on foot.
We could probably catch up if we ran, but
I highly doubt that that's a good idea. But since when have we been good at ideas anyway?
You guys are terrible.
In general, or
Both. No pride.
pride? I'll get you killed. You want to go on a suicide mission?
Been on side me. That's like 90.
Well, this is officially one of the stupidest things I have ever done.
Well, as much as I want him caught, didn't your angel guy
Hold on.
freak out?
Yeah, cats.
Okay, there we go.
So doesn't that mean that maybe fighting the Baron's a bad idea? Like a really bad idea.
Yeah, it could be worse. Also,
What?
ever.
You're what?
I
Okay, that makes way more sense than what I heard.
if you ever spoil my, you're going to find savory thing.
Oh my.
You know, I can get food from other places, right?
So, like bacon in his breakfast yogurt.
That would be unpleasant, but I don't think that's.
Well, no, it's unsavory things in your food. So it would be like putting salt in your cereal.
You don't do that?
So guys, I have an idea that we might be able to pull off. Maybe we should just get information and evidence that we can take to the guards, and maybe they can deal with him, considering that we can.
I don't think the guards.
I mean,
God.
if he's as powerful as it seems, I don't think the guards are going to be able to do much.
Well, we can
They
still
can't.
at least get intelligence on him.
Someone like a Baron, they can't touch you. You have to go higher than and stronger.
I guess the best thing to do is try and build some kind of case against him and bring it to someone in power.
You want to do that?
Yes,
I mean, he deserves justice.
Eh,
I agree, but
Others that deserve justice.
what's to stop him from just coming back and completely destroying, first off, us, secondly, the evidence against him?
That's very true.
Well then, what?
Well, I guess we could attempt to go after this crime syndicate in Undertown.
Delicious.
What?
I'm not eating them.
So as you guys are talking in that alley, a head pokes its way in. It's actually Ben. You actually recognize this head, uh, and it sort of rises up to about 8 feet, and then a body follows it. It's Yasu. You know, Yasu, Monk Yasu. Hello. I thought I smelled you.
Hey, Yasu.
Yasu?
So you guys made it.
Greeting.
Yeah.
Well,
You're n- you don't smell like a lizard folk.
I'm annoyed.
So how have you been?
No, you know, same old, same old. Rebelling a little bit here, rebelling a little bit there. You know, just normal monkey asu things.
Are you a part of?
No, I'm a seamstress.
You could do better.
She just looks very dumbfounded. Like she just doesn't believe that a creature this oblivious existed.
So have you made any progress in this rebellion?
Well, that's why I came to find you as soon as I caught a whiff of you.
What's up?
Well, you see, we haven't made much progress. As our leaders have been out collecting the heroes' weapons, but they have hit a snag. They can't leave. They can't go out of town because there's no one in here who can lead a group in case the in case a incursion happens into our secret base.
Incursion?
Oh, cool. They're called a shark.
Which,
So,
alright, so
So what do you need our help with?
well, we were hoping to. Hi, I told them about who you guys were, and he said that they remembered you, and that you guys would make poor bodyguards. But I insisted that you guys would be the ones that could help.
So are you asking us to get the last hero weapon for you guys?
No, no, I'm asking you to help us guard our base,
Where is your base?
Undertown.
question. Um, the people you're talking about, were they at Fort Cars?
Yeah, those are our leaders.
Oh, um, I feel I owe them an apology.
Why? They said that you were so weak that you couldn't even touch them.
I shot them, and their scales are what saved them.
That's still not touching them.
Okay, clearly
I mean, you couldn't deal damage, hurt them, so well, why even qualify that as touching?
Steve, I didn't bring you met their leaders.
Well, me and Lime met them. A rim got knocked out in like the first 6 seconds. I think Lime tried stabbing them. That didn't go well at all. And I shot them, and nothing we did hurt them, and they blinked away with basically a national treasure.
You guys sound very.
Yes, he does sound very incompetent there, doesn't he?
I'd rather not hear it from you, 2-year-old.
Seems like you guys.
I mean, I guess we'll be willing to help you. Guys, what do you think?
I'm all for it.
I guess so.
Well, I guess I'm about to be labeled as a traitor to the Empire, but yeah, sure.
This is good, yes? You can follow me.
Alrighty.
I'm going to load. Steve is going to load every gun he has.
Alright, so you guys need to follow her down a maze of alleys. Like, you have no way of knowing how to get out of here. And, like, you even feel magic being cast on you guys as you walk down, making, like, some high-level stuff that's making you forget the way back. Unless, is there anyone here that's immune to mind affecting effects?
I get a bonus.
And you have to be immune for this not to affect you.
I don't know if spell resistance does anything.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not with this one.
Yeah. I guess then as they're going down, Steve is going to.
We can trust them. I understand your concern, but it is their secret base. If we're going to help them, we might as well go by whatever rules they want us to.
You will follow. No make map, and no marking. No one must know where base is. Otherwise, incursion. Yes.
Understand.
Got it.
So eventually, you guys go down the alley that turns into a cave. And you guys, excuse me, you guys follow that down 4 ways. He's eventually, you, like you feel like you've been walking for hours. There's, or has it been minutes? You've sort of lost track of time as you walk through a maze of underground of underground houses and stuff, like homes that have been cut out of the rock, like stores that have been and built out of stone and wood into the side of the cave walls. You see many eyes looking at you. There are people walking around, but they're scarce. Just when they see you guys coming, they seem to slink into the shadows and peer out from them. There are people of all races that you know of, and some that you don't.
Yasu, how long have you guys been down here?
I, honestly, I do not know. This is where the rebellion started. Some slaves escaped many, many years ago. Maybe as far back as as the dawn of the Empire, and they've been slowly hollowing this area out, making it longer, larger. But sadly, we have no way of digging into the city. You see, the cliff that the city he sits on is made out of adamantine ore, impossible to dig through with conventional tools. And beneath that, the city runs rivers of molten and salt.
Yeah, that's a lot to get through.
Yes, it's impossible to tunnel into the city, but we hope to one day be able to. We've recently found a method that will let us get through the adamantine, but it won't bypass the salt. Have you seen what molten salt moves like?
Not personally.
It flows like water, but it's hot like lava. It melts anything it comes into contact with almost instantly.
That's a problem.
Beth, you will have to know about
So, but we're slowly making progress. One day soon we will have a way into the sewers of the capital, yes?
So, what's the plan from there?
Well, our leaders will invade into the sewers where they can move move up through the sewers, is using the waterways as a disguise and passing through all the metal grates that separate out the different sections. You see, the sewers in the Empire are closely guarded by any number of organizations, both legal and non, and some that are secret organizations, even to the populace of the Empire. They don't let anything happen in the sewers without the Empire knowing. But our great mage each has a spell book that contains all magic knowledge that has ever been known to the likes of this realm. So if there's a way, he will find it.
Beth. So, you said you needed us to work as God.
Yes, as guards. You will
Guards of to what?
you will have to guard our mining operation. Make sure workers safe as I use the magic tools to slowly dig out the adamantine ore. We're using the adamantine that we're mining to make more of these tools so that we can dig out the adamantine faster. But there are things that burrow through the mountainside. There are there's a thing called a metal worm. It eats through the adamantine, but it does not go near the surface or anything vibrations. It's left tunnels, but those tunnels quickly fill with the molten salt. We believe that the creature makes it in its body.
Can it?
We do not know. It is some sort of metal monstrosity.
Well, it sounds like that's a good starting point. Because if it's making that molten salt, then if we stop that or found a way to use it to our advantage, we could probably get through that adamantine a lot quicker.
Well, it sounds like killing it could be dangerous if it makes the molten salt in its body.
Well, I don't think we should just try to kill it outright. We could use it. We just need to figure out how to do that.
Alright, so you guys travel for a couple of hours in this area, going deeper and deeper into the cliffside, and eventually you guys come across a flat stone wall, which Yasu goes up to and just walks through. And you guys follow suit. And inside there are tons of lizard folk of every shape and size, all going about their business, crafting weapons, making armor, er, crafting medical tools and armor. There's a whole bunch of artificers and alchemists making all sorts of enchanted gear and things. And you see a, you see a familiar looking lizard folk holding a spear, and she's directing traffic all, on the movement of all this equipment. And there's also one who's with two swords strapped to her waist that and he's overseeing the creation of some of the weapons and stuff. There's one guy sitting in a soft looking leather. Um, I guess you wouldn't call it a beanbag, but it's like a sack of soft looking leather sack sitting on the ground as he leaps through a tome that's as big as he is. And he just seems to be reading through it page after page extremely fast.
So is that the book you were talking about earlier?
Yes, it's it is a book of all spell knowledge known to man. It updates itself if any time a new discovery is made. Most powerful spell book in all of existence.
How'd you get a hold of that?
They took it from the Empire. They housed it in a tower or in a coastal town. Our heroes those invaded the tower and took the book.
That sounds like it's gonna put a big dent in their offensive capabilities.
Oh no, the book was a paltry trinket to the Wizard Society, which is why they kept it in the tower instead of in the college. The wizards were trying to figure out the swords that had a way of cutting through magic, like even at its most base roots. So but hopefully the, the leader and his right hand and will be back uh, with those shortly. As you guys say, you hear your like heavy footsteps behind you. And you turn around, uh, like you know how Yasu's a good 7 feet tall. This guy is easily like 8 feet or more tall. Lizard folk, big broad shoulders. Is see, he's wearing heavy armor and he's carrying a tower shield. His armor seems to be made out of stone, and his scales seem to be a deep, deep blue. Yeah, blue color. And next to him is a lightly armored, very lithe, looking lizard folk with a bow strapped to his back, carrying a bundle in his arms.
I believe that is
Yasu, is that the leader?
Yes, Yasu. Are these the? He looks around you. Heroes you told us as you were recruiting. Yes, yes, very much so. Yes. Hmm. They seem a bit scrawny for heroes.
this one is
Hmm.
I assure you, we're capable of.
We'll see how capable you are.
We've taken down the Nightmare Titan.
Titans are of no concern to us. Titans don't bother their mortals unless the mortals bother them. Our biggest threat are each other. We can't truly get rid of the Titans until people will stop mistreating each other and start, treating each other as people.
You're right. We would all have to come together to stop them. They're pretty powerful.
Our Narcissus Karn. He reaches his hand out, about to shake yours.
Bolter.
Volter, you're not a lizardfolk, are you?
I am.
Well, if we can get the androids on our side, that would be a great help. They've already they've already infiltrated every level of Imperial society. So it would be a great help if we can get more like you on our side. He looks down to Tessa, who's not even up to his calf, like even sort of that, like maybe ankle high on who. I see you brought a pet.
Yeah, she's not
She's not a pet.
Oh, is this one supposed to be a hero too?
Scrawny, but yes.
Hmm.
You are pretty tiny. I'm sorry.
And I guess since you're the only one of any kind of imposing stature, you must be their leader.
No, we don't have a leader. We're a
Not
democracy.
Really.
Not the greatest one, but
Democracy implies leadership.
This is my sidekick, Crimson Scorpion,
and his
and his familiar, Waddles.
Hello, a talking pig. Huh. Fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating.
So, we'll see what you guys have to offer, but it'll have to wait until the morning. Hmm. He looks at you with a very stern look, and like you see his hand has already his shield before you guys even notice it. As soon as you who acted aggressively in any way, shape, or form, he already had his shield up, ready to bash. And the other guy already had his bow out.
Steve, I want to be careful here. We don't like rocket lobster.
but we should
Probably
probably
not act aggressively.
They're
Kind of
on
on
edge.
edge.
put it away, please. As he's like staring down the lobster.
Forgive him.
He has something against the lobster. I really don't know what.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, our meeting will have to wait until the morning. Carmia, I brought you your swords. And he just walks into the back, and that's where we'll end the session for today. So, our intrepid heroes have joined up with the rebellion. Are they going to be of any use to them whatsoever? Are they going to be able to defend the miners as they mine?
Sure if they don't do it at night.
The word came in that's where I'm marking.
Well, it depends what kind of worm it is.
So, we'll find out the answer to these questions and more on the next episode of Titans and Tabernacles.